Since this channel started, I've gotten my nose on thousands of fragrances and done thousands of videos. And it would be easy to get jaded and go like, everything is trash now. I've smelled too much, nothing is exciting. But today I'm sharing with you 15 different fragrances that even though I've reviewed thousands of scents, these ones still bring me joy, they still blow me away. Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. Everything I talk to you about is gonna be linked in the description. Let's get it started straight away with a Paco Rabanne Invictus. But maybe not the Invictus that you're thinking of, because you're probably thinking, Victory Elixir, which, to be fair, that one would also work in today's video, but no, it's actually this one, Invictus Parfum. Now, as I've harped on and whined about like a small baby child with a little bitty goblin brain, the original Invictus, not my thing. Yeah, when it came out with its cheesy trophy style bottle that I actually low-key kind of like now, and its bubblegum sweet mixture of freshness, I wasn't a huge fan. But as time went on, I came around to it a little bit, and with this one, Invictus Parfum, I finally just gave in and said, you know, heck with it. Give me the Invictus. Inject it into my veins. That's not weird, right? That's pretty normal. I think that's how people act when they go to Sephora and spray stuff on. I don't know. So yeah, Invictus Parfum, this one has that Invictus styling. It's got that sweetness, that bubblegum aspect, that freshness, but it's also a little bit classier, better done, better blended. Has a nice soapy aspect to it as well, which gives it an extra touch of classiness. You know, it makes it a little more approachable when you don't just want to be a walking syrupy sugar bomb. It's got performance, it's got versatility, it's got compliment factor, the bottle is kind of cool. I pointed this out before, but essentially it looks like the Invictus bottle if it got on a dose of Ozempic. Yeah, it's like it dyed its hair blonde, got some blue contacts, and got on Ozempic, man. Nice. You're looking, yeah. So it would be easy after all these years to just be like, Invictus, I hate it, you know, it's trash, it's this, it's that. But no, Invictus Parfum, I love this stuff. Next up, let's go with this one. It is Gentleman Reserve Privee. Honestly, the whole Gentleman line, I dig. Even the Eau de Toilette. So Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, Reserve Privee, Boisé, Eau de Toilette Intense, I'll take all of it. Society's not bad, Gentleman Society, and the newest one is actually pretty solid as well, but I do enjoy these ones a bit more. Oof. And Reserve Privee is just one of those fragrances that, man, it just gets better with age. It's essentially like a fine wine. You know, you smell it originally, oh, fantastic, really good, good stuff, nice. But then as time goes on, 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, you smell it again. It's like it's even better, if it's even possible. Now, of course, I'm a massive fan of iris and fragrances, and if you're not a massive fan of iris, you should be. But if you're not, especially if it's that more like creamy-ish type of iris, then maybe this one wouldn't work as well for you. But for me, top notch. So it's got that iris, it has chestnut, it's got whiskey, then it's got an additional woodiness, like an ambery warmth and sweetness in here. Fantastic. Fall and winter time, this is one of the best. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, yeah, those aren't necessarily expensive, but they're not exactly cheap. Well, guess what? This one is. It's Rue Broca Theoreme, and this stuff is pretty much as cheap as you're gonna find. Well, close to. I mean, technically you can find like bod or something like that. It's gonna be cheaper, but do you wanna be wearing bod? I mean, yeah. And the funny thing with this, of course it's a cologne fragrance. Rue Broca is part of Offnon, but they come out with stuff constantly. And I was shopping on JOMASHOP the other day, and I saw that they had a flanker to this out. I had no clue it existed, so I added it to my cart. It's not here yet, but when it gets in, I'll see what it is, how it is. But yeah, man, the world of cologne fragrances, it's just like legitimately every week there's new stuff dropping. So you can be shopping today, and then like 3 days from now, all of a sudden there's 5 new fragrances that came out in different fragrance lines across different cologne brands, and you're like, what is all this stuff? And then you kind of have to like figure it out. You know, they're not really telling you ahead of time, okay, this one is that one, this one is this one, this one is that one. You just have to like buy it and pray. Anyway, back to this fragrance. You can find it about 22 bucks to 25. It's somewhere in that range usually. A lot of citrus in here off the top. You've also got amber, some woodiness, some musk as it dries down. Really solid longevity, so it's gonna last a long time, even though it's more of a summery type fragrance. It smells quite similar to Bulgari's Tiger. Actually, this one and probably Tarati Blue, which is off-non, are the two most well-known alternatives to Tiger. So if you're wanting that fragrance on the cheap, or if you want to do a little dastardly deed, you can pick this up, spray it on. If somebody asks you, hey, what are you wearing? What is that? It smells fantastic. Just tell them it's Bulgari. Oh, it's Bulgari Tiger. It's super good, but yeah, you may not want to buy it. It's pretty expensive. Your secret is safe. I won't tell you. Now, as I said, price-wise, that one's usually between 22 and 25, depending on where you're shopping. You may be able to find it for a little bit less, but don't pay more than that. And if you are shopping at one of these stores for any fragrance, then use one of these codes to save yourself some money. The JOMASHOP codes change every few months, and they only work within the JOMASHOP app. Be aware of that. And of course, the Gift Express code, big update there. Gents 15% off, but the order has to be over $250. If it's under $250, it will give you 10% off. I know. Gents 15% off in certain situations, otherwise just 10. But still, you can use that code to save yourself some money, and then there are the other codes like for Frag Flex or the perfume box, which also has great deals. So you can use those codes, save yourself some money whenever you're shopping. Next up is this one right here, Wanted by Night by Azzaro. Nowadays, when it comes to Azzaro, it's basically the most wanted and the most wanted. And yep. Oh, and Forever Wanted Elixir. Can't forget that one. But that's really what Azzaro is all about nowadays. Those are the main ones that people are excited about. But this one right here, I have always really loved. And with this one, I've been there from the beginning. You know, it's a fragrance that came out after I'd started the channel. The channel wasn't super old at that point or anything, but I remember as soon as this dropped. And the price was, of course, high initially, and then it got really low, like stupid low, like Dracula in his coffin low. There was one point in time where this was about 20 bucks. Yeah, and I thought to myself, I should buy some more of those, but I was like, it's a cheapie. It's gonna be a cheapie forever. It got more expensive. I mean, the price is not insane nowadays. It's just more expensive than it used to be. With this one, you get something very spicy, very warm, quite unique smelling, actually, with a cool kind of tobacco twist in there. Cumin is a note that you might pick up in here. Thankfully, off my skin, it has never come across funky. I say that because cumin sometimes can come across smelling like body odor. I know, you're just like, oh, wanted by, oh, take that one off the list. Yeah, throw that in the trash. But no, smells amazing to me. Let's go cheap again. Lacoste L'Homme Intense. This one has long been one of my favorite kind of under the radar cheapies. It has been affordable for a long time. The performance is pretty good, all things considered. It's better on the longevity side than the projection side, but it's still good. And it's got an interesting note breakdown, actually a really robust note breakdown. Take a look at this. Yeah, compare that to note breakdowns nowadays. Slightly different. Let's go ahead and make this note breakdown look like how it would look like if it came out right now. Oh, there it is. Oh. Yeah, you gotta love those modern note breakdowns. They're just full of information. So Lacoste L'Homme Intense, as I said, really nice smelling for cheap. It's got a nice, fresh, sweet combination. You know, it's got both of those things kind of working in tandem. Rhubarb, one of my favorite underutilized notes, is in here, and you can pick it up right off the rip. Some people also find a little similarity to the type of fresh sweetness that you'll find across the Y line, though it's not close enough to be used as an alternative to those fragrances. Could be one of those deals where if you like one, you'll like the other. Let's go next with Gulf Orchid's Sweet Heaven Cherry. There it is, there's the front. So this is probably the fragrance that put me onto the brand the most. I had a couple beforehand, but nothing that really made me sit up and take notice and go like, oh, okay, I gotta buy some more of these, until this one. Now it would be really easy to be jaded, like I said at the beginning of the video, and just kind of see this and go, garbage, toss it. You know, it's another Camera, Gisa Sava, Angel Share kind of fragrance. They're a dime a dozen. It sucks, get rid of it. But there's something about it that just smells so nice. Taking that DNA, that established DNA, and then just injecting it with a boatload of cherries off the top. Yes, it's sweet, a little bit syrupy sweet, but really attention grabbing. And it becomes something that's even more addictive than the originals in a lot of ways. And sometimes little things like that, simple little things, can be things that, you know, catch on, that kind of grab your attention. Next up, Terre Eau Givree by Hermes. This right here is for lovers of citrus, which I am. It has a bunch of citron off the top. It's a little bit rindy, so be aware of that. I know with some people, they really just don't dig that. You know, they don't dig the rindiness, that little bit of like sweet and sour combo going on. But bro, I like sweet and sour in pretty much every form and facet. Sweet and sour sauce, sweet and sour fragrance, sweet and sour chicken, Sour Patch Kids, a toxic relationship that had good moments. Oh no, that's something different. You know, put that out there. Terre Eau Givree, it gives me some of those things. The citrus, really nice smelling, not too sugary sweet or anything like that, keeps things classy, and it has that Terre woody aspect as it dries down. Just more modernized and frankly stripped down, cleaned up a little bit. Really, really solid for spring and summer. Love that one. Ooh, CH Man. Carolina Herrera. This is one of the older bottles that had the little ribbon with the CH on there. I've got a few different iterations of this because the bottle has changed designs a bunch of times. So this is the oldest bottle that I own, but there's also a few others back there that are not quite as aged. Ooh, that smells aged. Oh, that's nice. There we go. I think I hadn't sprayed this one for a little while to get hit with some alcohol off the top. And that's better. CH Men is one of those fragrances that had a short heyday, okay? There was a short time period, a little snippet, a little moment, a fragment, a figment of time where everybody was about it. Everybody in the club get CH Men. And oh my God! And it was really, it was really popular. What the f? What am I doing? I need both hands for this, baby. It was really popular. Everybody dug it. For good reason. Big compliment puller. Really sexy smelling. Sugary leather. Easy to wear. Not animalic. Very smooth. A little suede-like to an extent. But then it also had a little bit of freshness off the top. This kind of green aspect that worked. Performance was so-so / is so-so. I don't know why I'm talking about it like it's dead while I'm holding it in my hand here. But this stuff, absolutely amazing. Big compliment puller, and it's that type of scent that when you go back to it, man, you just kind of relive it and you go, ah, oh, this stuff is great. Let's go Lalique next. Ombre Noire. Now this is gonna be for the guys who like their fragrances a little bit more complex as it pertains to designer scents. Now, I'm not saying it's like a hyper complex oud indie fragrance made with real deer musk pods. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when you compare it to, I don't know, Sauvage Eau Forte, it's got a little more going on. That's all I'm saying. And in typical Lalique fashion, at discounters, typically a really bang up price. Not very expensive, and for what you get here, good stuff. Now that being said, I do want to iterate and reiterate and reiterate that if you're a younger guy, let's say you are 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's probably not going to appeal to you as much. And that's gonna be because it does lean a little bit more mature, a little more classy. It's not like an overly sweet fragrance. It's not got much freshness going on there. In terms of notes, it's got cinnamon, it has cognac, it has tobacco leaf, fig leaf, myrrh, olibanum, cedar tonka, and a touch of mint. So you've got a lot of these warm, spicy, rich, decadent, sexy notes in here, but it is not a sugar bomb. After that, I want to talk about this. This is Dior Homme Sport. For now, Dior is coming for it. Yes, sir, it is. It's gonna be changed. I'm just playing. I have absolutely no information about that whatsoever. I'm just saying Dior has had a tendency to mess with their Dior Homme line, and it wouldn't surprise me if they changed Dior Homme Sport because they have done it before. More than once. So all I'm saying is if in like 2026, you know, something comes out and it's like new Dior Homme Sport 2026 Alpha Intense Edition, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Please see Dior Homme 2020 and the new Dior Homme Parfum. And also, like I said, this has been changed a bunch too. And actually, this smells kind of similar to Dior Homme 2020. Just fresher with a very nice little citrus pop off the top. Another one that's classy, easy to wear, super versatile, smells fantastic. I mean, it's that type of fragrance that you can use as like a Swiss Army knife. You can wear it pretty much anywhere for anything and it's gonna work. But it's a little different than your more typical scent that would be used in those situations. You know, your blue fragrances out there, so really did. Next up is one from Rayhaan. Yeah, Pacific Aura. It's better than Elixir, right? Pacific Elixir, that would have been low-hanging fruit. What's gonna happen now, somehow, some way, all the other brands are gonna see this and be like, Aura, that's a good friggin' idea. Don't mind if I do. So this one brings me joy in an interesting kind of way. So let me explain. Rayhaan. My introduction to them was them being hyped to the moon and back. So I went ahead and purchased a few fragrances, and my general reaction for those three, if you could combine it into just one word, just really distill it, condense it down, meh, meh, eh. They were the type of clones that you would expect to get for like 20 bucks. That's how they came across. So it was one of those deals where I smelled them and I was like, yeah, that seems about right. But as time has gone, they've kept the same bottle, this little square bottle, but it's gotten the name on the side. And, ooh, the calligraphy is now on the back instead of a little sticker. Well, it wasn't a sticker, it was like printed on. But look at it now, oh my God. Wow. So yes, the bottle, a slight upgrade. Ooh, but the cap, a magnet. But that's not what's really important, because if the fragrance still sucks big ones, who cares? Except for the magnet. I mean, that's kind of cool. I like that. But Rayhaan has gotten steadily better with most, not all, but most of their releases. So it's a subtle reminder to myself not to immediately write off a brand based off first impressions of the first thing I smell. Now, as far as this, it is Pacific Chill, in case the name Pacific didn't give it away, and the color scheme. Though to be fair, the original Pacific didn't smell like Pacific Chill, so I don't know why I'm acting like that would somehow be a tell. Great performance, very fresh, green, juicy, enlivening, and another step in the right direction for that brand. Guerlain is next, L'Homme Ideal, and this one is extreme. But I don't want to say just L'Homme Ideal extreme, because really all the L'Homme Ideals, which are back there, are worth mention. It's a line that I think is consistently really, really, really good, and yet feels like it is consistently on death's doorstep. Because they have fragrances that come out in the line like Cologne, and to a lesser extent Sport, and Cool, which end up just getting, oh, and Platine Privee, can't forget that one. So actually they've discontinued a bunch of the ones in the line. And then they had Parfum come out last year, and this year so far we have had, just a drum roll please, nothing. So as I said, it's a line that constantly feels like it's teetering between life and death. You just keep waiting like, come on, please announce a new one, please, come on. But for now, I will just talk about this one. It smells amazing, fall, winter, absolutely stunning. It has that almond that's gonna tie it in with the rest of the line. A little bit of a creamy aspect. You have a nice tobacco, fruity sweetness going on. Just an excellent release. Pasha de Cartier is up next. This one is the Parfum. An interesting bottle design. It's supposed to look like the little dilly-dally on the watch. Quick, what's that thing called? Okay. Saved. So Pasha de Cartier Parfum, it has that similarity to the original Pasha de Cartier, which is right over there. You're just gonna have to believe me, you're gonna have to trust me. It's where I'm pointing, that's where it is. It's right there. I'm telling you. So it has that throwback feel to it, you know, this little bit of a barbershop-y aspect, but it is a little bit more modern, definitely deeper, bolder, richer. Another one that has kind of a boozy warmth and sweetness added in. Nice sandalwood note in here as well. The scent Magnetic is next by Hugo Boss. Interesting note breakdown for the scent Magnetic. Only 3 notes, black, vanilla, bran. Yeah, like in your Raisin Bran cereal, bran. And then Manenka, which ties it in with most of the other fragrances in the Descent line, which by the way, does not have a new release this year yet. They have changed the bottle design on this, so it no longer looks this way. Instead, it looks this way. Let me know which one looks better. This one smells very interesting. It's similar to the scent Elixir in a lot of different ways, but this has a nice creamy, almost slightly powdery sweetness. And at first blush, when you smell this, you might be like, I don't know. It's like, maybe not masculine enough. But in the air, it is, like the name says, magnetic. People love this, huge compliment puller. and kind of under the radar, at least in the sense that it's not as popular as some of the big ones, like your Dior's, your Chanel's, etc. Last but not least, the one Eau de Parfum Intense. Dolce & Gabbana has, at least for a while now, pretty much abandoned this line. I mean, there hasn't been anything new in years, and yet they are coming out with Devotion, and apparently a flanker of Devotion already for men. And then they have K, you know, they keep running through the Ks. They did bring back Light Blue, so that's good. We're still waiting on a new The One. Now, this does not smell like The One Eau de Parfum, so if you're familiar with that one and you think, oh, well, this one is The One Eau de Parfum, only more intense, you would be wrong. It actually is kind of a mix, fresh and sweet, has neroli in here, cashmere in as well. Does have a nice spicy aspect to it, really enticing. It's like a fresh spicy or fresh warm spicy mix. Decent amount of sweetness, but not overdone actually. It's got a decent, interesting blend. You know, it's got a few different things going on. It's got a nice balance to it. And it's another one that flies under the radar that people absolutely love, and it's one that I like to pull out from time to time and wear. So there it is, 15 fragrances that after all this time, even though some of them are quite simple, some of them are quite inexpensive, I still love to go back to them. And it's one of those things that you have to remember from time to time. You know, don't let yourself become so, as I've said twice now, jaded to the point that you no longer derive joy from the things that used to make you happy. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.